Hi, I'm Alex from Naked Buddha. I'm here with Michael Gannon from Michael Gannon Yoga. And we're just going to do a really short video here about some of the benefits from practicing Ashtanga yoga regularly. And I should say at the kind of beginning of this video that I spent a little bit of time with Michael while he's been in London and while we've been working on this app together. And the first thing that I was completely stunned to hear is Michael's actually 45 years old. I'm 30, and I would say we look a fairly similar age. So either I'm a very old 30, or more likely, I'd say Michael's a very, very young 45 in terms of how he looks. And so one of the first things I'd say is that clearly there's some kind of anti-aging benefits. But the other thing I wanted to say before we hear from Michael was that this guy has got one hell of a lot of energy. I mean, on the first day we were doing the photographs of the app, and the photographer and Tim and myself, when it came to lunchtime, we were all quite happy to sit down and have our lunch and chill out a little bit. And Michael was like, "Come on, guys, let's keep going," and didn't want to eat because he was demonstrating the postures right through till the afternoon. And then today we were doing the voiceovers for the app, and Michael had just done 3 days at the yoga show, and then didn't get back to about 11 o'clock last night. And again, was just flying right through. It's 25 to 8 in the evening now, and he's still got energy. And I'm hoping my brain's going to last through the interview. So that's kind of a long introduction to say that clearly you're a great living advert for yoga practice. So I'm wondering, from your perspective, what are some of the benefits apart from maybe some of the things you've just mentioned?
Well, it's interesting, the age thing you pointed out, because I was your age when I started practicing yoga, Alex. So maybe when you start, that's when the aging clock stops, if you think that we're the same age.
I started at 18, dude. But anyway.
Okay, then forget that idea. Yeah, well, the benefits, there are so many. I mean, the thing that's unique about the Ashtanga Vinyasa yoga practice is because it's considered a strong practice, and the breath is such a key part of it, and the vinyasa, the breath and the movement, the flowing, creates so much heat, this internal fire that we refer to. So it very naturally burns off toxins. I mean, you are literally sweating out gunk, but at the same time, using this conscious breathing in the practice, you're breathing out gunk as well, which is the way that we release the most toxins. So the combination of the breath and the heat and the internal fire, there's an incredible benefit of losing gunk. And any kind of practice you can do to eliminate toxins in your body, it's going to help everything. So Ashtanga practice is notorious for eliminating all kinds of diseases and imbalances of the body to start with.
Well, just coming off also what you were saying there, one of the things that just comes up in my mind is that you were saying about the fire and also the strength. The people will see in the photos, the video, in the app, you have a huge amount of strength, but you're not built like a bodybuilder. And I think a lot of people tend to think that to be strong, you have to have big kind of pumped muscles. But my observation of my own practice and other people I know that practice Ashtanga regularly, there's a real strength with flexibility, which I think is really interesting. That there's a lot of power in the muscles, but it's very efficient as well.
Right. Well, what it does is it creates balance. And it's interesting, we have this saying in Ashtanga relative to the strength is you get a six-pack from Ashtanga, but it's on the inside. Okay. So it's not so important how it looks, it's more important how it works.
Right.
So, in the yoga practice, we're striving to create strength, balance, and flexibility, the three of them together. There's lots of people that are very strong that struggle in a type of yoga practice. They can't do a lot of the physical poses because maybe they don't have the strength with the flexibility.
So if people, that they're getting the detoxing effects of the heat and also the breathing, there's the strength that comes with it. But I think there's also something that happens in terms of people being more centered, in terms of their inner kind of state. I'm wondering what you have to say about that.
Well, in my personal experience, this was the benefit that I experienced that I appreciate the most. Because before I got into yoga, I was working in the advertising business for over 10 years. And my mind was everywhere. I excel in advertising because I had the ability to juggle, do many different projects, work with many different teams and many different clients at the same time. And I thought that was a good thing. And in some sense it was. But then as I started to do yoga, I felt that it was literally impossible for me to focus on one thing and be really still and present with one thing. So the yoga has helped me kind of clear the fog away and really be focused on things and get a lot more out of my practice I get a lot more out of my relationship with my partner, get a lot more out of the relationship with my children, get a lot more out of the relationship with my students, get a lot more out of the experience when I'm eating and enjoying something. So it's just made me able to really hone in on each moment.
Well, I guess there's also something about yoga practice specifically which really helps someone to be embodied. You know, like I know if I go to the gym and I lift weights, it's like my body's working out, but especially because I'm adrenalizing my system, it's like my mind is off in fantasy thinking about this, going there, going wherever else. When I'm doing my yoga practice, I'm deliberately bringing myself into my body and into the moment. And I think what you're saying is really true in the world as well, that, you know, someone's having a meeting at work, but they're remembering what they were saying to their partner earlier, what they've got to do later, and it's like they're all over the place.
Right.
And actually, if we're really bringing our singular attention to what we're doing, we're actually far more productive and far more resourceful in what we're doing as well. You know, so it seems to me that there's a lot about yoga practice which is so much more than just postures.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm known for a very simple phrase that I use when I'm teaching sometimes, that the yoga is going to help you get out of your head and into your breath, because we're all up in here. There's no presence, there's no awareness. So it really helps you to get into your breath and drop down into your body and be present. So it's the physical practice that allows us to do that. So what I love about Ashtanga is we breathe and we move, we breathe and we move. We don't spend a lot of time talking and looking at, you know, minute details that kind of do the head in. So we breathe and we move and we just go with the flow. And what I experience in this process is these little moments of micro samadhi, this little bliss, because the mind stops and then you find this presence and you just flow. And then this kind of connects to everything that you do off the mat as well.
That's great. So thank you, Michael, and thank you guys for watching. So I really hope that through watching this video, it's inspired you to really want to use the app that we've made. You know, Michael's put a lot of time and heart, we put a lot of time and heart, and there are so many benefits from this, and we really want you to experience that. So we really hope that you make the time to use the app, get the most from it. Thank you for watching.
Namaste.